I encourage listeners with this song to use the subject matter to put it towards something in their lives that's a negative force, whether it's a person or a thing or an event or an obstacle in their lives. For me, it was about a person, and I used the song as the negative outlet for this. I turned that negative thing in my life into something positive and made a song that I really enjoy off this record. I love the energy on this song. I feel like it hints back to the early, my pre-metal days. I feel like musically it shows a bit of that punk side, because punk was the first thing I got into. It's very briefly before I got into metal. I tried out for a pop punk band when I was like 11 years old, and they didn't let me in. And I got into metal shortly afterwards and tried out for Trivium, made it in. But I've always been a fan of the genre. It's something that I don't know as well as metal, obviously, but I feel the chorus has it, and I feel like the verse has that energy. And then with the vocal delivery, it brings it to a different place. Musically, it has that punk attitude, but vocally, it has that traditional classic metal vibrato and attack at it. So it's a very nice pairing. I think it's a very Trivium thing, but it's unlike anything you've ever had Trivium-wise.
Beneath the Sun is an interesting track. Originally we did it in drop D, and we had experimenting with this. We did Dead and Gone, which is in a new tuning for us, which is like the 7-string tuning we normally use, but we tuned down the low B string like a full step, so it's like drop D tuning, but the 7-string version of it. And we had this song, and it was cool. We always really liked it, and then we're just like, hey, let's try it on the 7-string, and we tried it on the 7-string tuning, and it really just was like, now the song has like a really cool vibe to it. Because it has the verses are just very simple little 3-chord part that holds out with the drums and everything. The low tuning just gave it this really cool, interesting vibe, and kind of has a very every time the lyrics fit the song perfectly, because when the vocal melodies kick in the verse, just makes you think of the desert and Egypt in a way. That was always kind of my mental picture of the song. So Beneath the Sun just kind of makes you think you're in the desert, and obviously the lyrics, the sun beats down and everything. So it ended up becoming a really cool vibey track that obviously picks up. It's has faster parts with the double kick, which different from some of the other songs on the record, and I think the middle section / solo section has one of the kind of cooler, kind of groovy riffs on the album that I really like a lot. So it's a really fun song to play, and it's got a lot of cool guitar parts and very catchy, like all the other songs. So it's I guess kind of a unique vibe for a Trivium song. I don't think we've really had a song that had quite as much Egyptian-ish sounding kind of melody lines in it. So it's kind of a new place to go.
Beneath the Flames is probably one of the most aggressive songs lyrically and vocal performance-wise outside of The Thing That's Killing Me. I really love the way my voice came out in this last song. This was the very final song that we recorded for the record, and I guess by that point my voice was pretty warmed up, and I had learned everything I could possibly learn from the recording, so it had this nice grit to it that I didn't really see present across the rest of the record. Maybe it was from fatigue, I don't know what it was, maybe it's the subject matter. This song, vocally, lyrically, I think is pretty straight to the point. I think when someone reads this, they can also do the same thing they did with The Thing That's Killing Me and direct this towards a negative energy in their lives and use this as the punching bag that they have, that they may need in life.
This is probably, musically compared to everything else, this is probably the most in-your-face, stripped back. It's all about the riffs. There's not a lot of, besides solos, there's not a lot of layering of harmony guitars or anything. It's just riffs and intense vocals. So it's the most, probably just in-your-face, just straightforward song on the record. So it's a great way to just end people with kicking the balls. Let's go conspiracy!